The NCAA approved a great addition for college football that will start in the 2024 season.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, the NCAA got it right. An organization that has been the target of many to be torn down. I think they have made a wise decision here, and it is adding something great that will improve the play on the field in the fall. Welcome in, everyone, to a Monday edition of Locked On Buckeyes here on Monday, April 22nd in the year 2024. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, also the host of the Jay Stevens Podcast. And today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnCollege. Terms and conditions apply. The NCAA is a focus of many, an organization that some say should be torn down. Think about all the good the NCAA has done over the past year, over the past 365 days, or even during your lifetime. Yes, they've gotten some things wrong, but they've also gotten a lot of things right. And that's exactly what they did here, adding player communication to the coaches on the sideline, or maybe up in the sky in the booth during the games in the fall. Now, you may say, Jay, whoa. They're adding the same thing that's going on in the NFL. That might be your thought. That is correct. There will be one player on the field at a time per team that has a green dot on the back of the center stripe on their helmet that will allow them to say, hey, I have communication with my coach that is on the sideline. That communication will be stopped when there's 15 seconds left on the play clock or when the ball was snapped. Whichever one comes first, that's when that communication is ceased. I'm here for it. This is great. This is 100% a great move for the sport. I have my own issues with the NCAA, their involvement in college football, but that's another conversation literally for another day. We've had it here numerous times. That's more of a topic we may discuss in June or July. But when it comes to this here, this is something that a lot of universities, and really most of them at this level, they could have done this years ago. They have the means, the funds, and the brains as a coach to make this happen. Now, there will be a learning curve for a lot of players out there, especially at Ohio State, whoever the signal caller is for the Buckeyes, and Cody Simon on defense. I believe he is the middle linebacker, the leader of that unit. That is great because, this is going to be a great addition for them when it goes to the NFL, but there will be a learning curve. That learning curve is simple. How do I always do what I do on the field while having somebody else in my ear? Then how do I translate what they say in my ear to quickly get that out to the other 10 players on my side of the ball that I am trying to help and lead right now? There is going to be some learning curves in these games against Akron and Marshall and some of these early season games, with this being a new tactic for Ohio State and a new avenue for them to coach during the game. Buddy, that is going to be huge to figure out, hey, how do we do this? How is all of a sudden the coach going to be mid-sentence when 15 seconds left on the play clock, and all of a sudden he's mid-sentence, and I don't know what the rest of this sentence was going to be, but I have to be the one to go about it, finish his thought, or hopefully continue his thought, and then also lead the offense or defense or the special teams unit that I am leading. Now, this is one thing that Ohio State has actually had some practice with during spring practice. They have worked with a little in-helmet communication with up to 3 players allowed to work with it during a given training session. The Buckeyes rotated through those players throughout spring practice. And Ryan Day spoke about this last month and talked about, there is some experience that we have, and when we get the experience to use that previous experience right now, it's a great benefit for the Buckeyes. Here's Day on this very topic, quote, "It's been good to work through that. Chip Kelly dealt with it when he was in the NFL, so he has experience in that. The easy thing is when you're in the huddle, you just call the play and the quarterback calls the play, and that's simple. But there are other ways to build in different hybrids between signals and calling it into the quarterback. There's verbal, and then there's the physical signal. It's something new in college. Each day we're learning a bit more about it," end quote. One of the things that frustrates me consistently about college football is directed and tied to this quote in this very topic is how you have all of these guys on the sidelines that are signaling in plays every single play. I am not a fan of that. I don't think that's the wisest move. Now I understand. Do you want to go back to the huddle and slow things down? Probably not if you're Chip Kelly, but do you want to allow that to happen and then have a Connor Stallion situation where not even saying that you're going through the links and the extremes that he went through to even try to steal signs, but even in game, somebody can steal signs in a legal way with their own eyes. So all of a sudden, what are you going to have to do? Figure things out quickly. I don't like the signs at all. I don't think the check with me, look on the sideline type of thing is good either. What has it done since coaches have taken over control of calling plays and lining up, looking at the defense and then saying, oh, look at me? I think that has slowed the brain and the development of the quarterbacks because they're not thinking for themselves as much as they used to. What they are doing is getting to the line and letting the coach literally make all the checks for them, literally do the things that they could do themselves, being more advanced, but they're letting the coach do it. Now, the coach is controlling it. He's trying to make his money, trying to keep his job, all of those things, but I have never, ever, ever been a big fan of that. I am a big fan of this, though. This is an addition that is great for the sport. And maybe you're someone's a fan of the Ohio Bobcats or the Bowling Green or Toledo, or you're a fan of UCF as former Buckeye safety Cedric Hawkins just transferred to UCF, which is about an hour away from where he grew up and his home. So maybe you got a little homesick or you wanted to go play down in the Sunshine State. I don't blame him, but no matter what level of football you're at right now, D1 or maybe you're D3, this is great because think about all of the sponsors that are here in college football and the more that will be coming up very, very soon that will make this sport better and make this sport more money. One of the things we know about them is that they're always looking for a new way to make more money. That's great. We're all in the business of making money. We work to do what? Make money. We do certain things. We make certain changes to either save more money or to make more money. That's a big part of life. And if I am AT&T or if I am Sony or if I am Bose or if I am JBL or if I am one of these mass producers of headsets or speakers or things of that nature, I even use JLab speaker headphones all the time. It's a lower level price point brand that does a lot of good things for the ear holes of me to provide crisp, clear sound when I am at the gym. One thing that I do know is this: whatever brand it is, you can get one brand to sponsor and provide the headphones for everyone. Now, the hiccup you might have is the NCAA does govern the rules. They don't govern the sponsors and control them as a whole that the schools have. So some schools are Adidas schools. Some schools are Nike schools. Some schools are Under Armour. Some schools have Jordan. And what is it? These are all schools that the NCAA is providing rules for in college football, but they can't stop you from the brands. So until maybe there is one unified body that is governing and controlling the entire sport, maybe that is when a Sony or a Bose or a Beats by Dre or somebody like that says, hey, we'll sponsor every body under this governing body. At a school, we'll give you the headphones and the headsets and everything you want. Everything speaker-wise, we will do that for you. Great. I am here for it. But I don't think it'll be hard for even those that have tighter financial budgets to make this happen because somebody will dump the money for you to make this a good thing for your sport. I am here for this addition, and I don't think it's all because of Connor Stallions. I think it's just something that has been in the works for quite a while, and I'm glad it is happening now. That was not the only thing the NCAA approved to happen in the upcoming season. There's a couple more things that are in my mind that they approved that we'll see in the fall. We'll talk about them next. This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else. Even those who aren't actively searching for a new job, but might be open to the perfect role in a given month. Over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. The Locked On NFL Mock Draft is available now. Find the ultimate 6-episode series on Locked On NFL Draft to hear who the local Locked On experts are picking for every NFL franchise, with live reactions from local college football experts and even the fantasy football angle. The Locked On NFL Mock Draft available now on Locked On NFL Draft on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. One thing that I love this time of year. I love the anticipation. I love the high during the spring game and how that can sustain you through the NFL draft. I do wish, though, that the NFL draft was not at the end of April, move it back up to the middle of April or the beginning of April. I know it's NFL may collide and clash with the spring practice and spring ball, but it used to be that way. It's okay to go back to the way the old things used to be, because sometimes they weren't broke. But people try to fix them and alter them because they just wanted to. It wasn't broke. Don't try and fix it. Put the draft back where it used to be that time of year. But one thing that the NFL is doing now college football is doing now, adding more things that the NFL has on a regular basis. Right now, they are adding a couple more things that, one, I'm cool with. One, I really could care less about. Doesn't really matter to me. It factors to me. We're going to talk about it, but not a big deal. They're allowing coaches to have tablets on the sideline. Now, you may say, Jay, is this new? Yeah, it is. It's very, very new. And it's very, very puzzling why this is something that is happening now. Teams will have the option to use tablets on the sideline exclusively to view in-game video. The video can include the broadcast feed and camera angles from the coach's sideline and the coach's end zone. Up to 18 tablets are permitted for use between the coach's booth, sideline, and locker room. Also, there is something else, and here's the one thing that I don't really care about at all. An automatic on-field timeout will be called at the first dead ball. I'm reading it from an article on purpose. Will be called at the first dead ball after the clock hits 2 minutes remaining at the end of the second and fourth quarters. Here we go. We have a 2-minute warning in college football. Is it needed? Absolutely not. Am I going to lose sleep over it? Absolutely not. I don't care at all. I think it's I have some opinions. I don't think it's needed at all. I truly don't. I don't think adding a 2-minute warning here is going to be one that coaches all over the place and a majority are saying, yes, we need it. No. And I'm not a person that's saying, hey, keep my college football, keep the rules different than the NFL. I think some of those things can clash and come together and really be great. Buddy, I don't really care about a 2-minute warning. I don't really think it's needed in the NFL. I don't really think it's needed here in college football. I don't. But it's here. Now, the tablet thing is another one. That's great. That's phenomenal. The fact that this has not been a thing that has been allowed previously kind of blows my mind. We have seen the use of tablets all over the place. Now, this is another way for people to get sponsors to find a company, Apple or Microsoft, or name any of them, that makes computers and makes tablets and does things that coaches can use on the sideline. I am probably going to try my best in a quick, fast, and in a hurry way to make sure I am at the front of the mind of a Ryan Day or Kalen DeBoer. I almost said Nick Saban. Wow. Or Kirby Smart. It's going to be weird not seeing Saban on the sideline in the fall. Very, very odd. And if we do see him on the sideline, he's going to be in street clothes, more streetier than he did when he was a coach at Ohio State. Why? Because, he's going to be on game day. He's not going to be coaching in Alabama. And it just seems weird. My entire life, as far as me watching college football at a great level and a grind, most of it, not all of it, most of it, Saban was a college football coach. I didn't really get heavy into college football till the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. I forget when Saban went to LSU, but I know that when I remember Saban, it was him at LSU. Then all of a sudden, I remember him when he went to the Dolphins, came back to college football, went to Alabama after saying he wouldn't be the coach at Alabama. He went to Alabama, and he has been there like the deepest and the heaviest of me being a college football fan. Saban has been in the sport, dominating it consistently. It is not going to happen now. And it's going to be very weird to see him. But all of these coaches in the tablet situation, look, it's cool. It's great. This is something that when I see players on the high school level have TVs on the sideline and being able to watch things back and being able to draw things up on a big old screen, and it's not in college football, I think we got this thing broke. Trust me. Now, the area that I cover high school athletics now, they don't. I have been roaming up and down every sideline. There's 5 high schools in the area, in the county. I roam the sidelines at every game, the home sideline, the away sideline. I don't care. I am not a guy that wants to be in the press box. I have been there before. I spent one half in the press box during a rainy game at Kokomo High School. And what was it? I didn't want to be downstairs on the field getting soaked. But what did I also realize? None of the schools here have that. They utilize the TV. They utilize those things. They're bigger schools in the area that I used to live before moving to Kokomo. What do they have? They had the ability to roll out a TV, roll out tablets. They use a lot of technology in their way at their disposal, which is great, and I'm here for it. But it still is kind of weird that it's not in the sport yet. It's here, though. And for Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, 2 guys that were in the NFL, 2 guys that already have experience with this, especially the 2-minute warning, to know how that may kill momentum, that may slow things down, but it does give you a little bit of time to rest, regroup, figure things out before the end of a half or the end of a game, regulation if it goes into overtime. I'm here for it. Now, the 2-minute warning, the sideline tablets, great. The NCAA fixing the communication, allowing players and coaches to communicate. I am glad they're making these changes. I am. Now, many of you have heard, and I asked Brian Smith about this last week, his thoughts on unlimited transfers as long as you're academically eligible and you meet the academic requirements. I think that's dumb. Absolutely dumb. But it's not the fact that I'm trying to hold players back. No. Does it make the sport better? And I think that's my biggest thing now, is that when it comes to changes, even in my personal life, as my wife and I, and I'm not sure if I made this clear on the show, my wife and I are expecting our first child in July. July 20th is his expected due date. And we're making changes now. What are we doing? When we're looking and trying to find things to bring into our home, we're trying to find things that make things better, not more complicated. A changing table that's on top of a dresser, what does it do? It makes things better. It doesn't make it hard for us to have a dresser and then something else that is a changing table. No, it's all in one. It makes things better. And what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to college football, make changes that make the sport better. If you think the 2-minute warning is great, great, cool. If you think that tablets is a good addition, great, cool. If you think the use of player-to-coach communication when the player's on the field is a great addition, great, cool. Do you truly think that unlimited transfers, if you meet the academic requirements, is great for the sport? Probably not. But why are you doing it? Probably to get people off your back. Cool. Keep making that. And I'll still be on this show saying I'm not a fan of that move. I am a fan of some things in this sport. And I'm looking forward to some more changes that I think the college football world should make in the future. We'll dive into them next. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. It's playoff time in the NBA and NHL. Baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to slam dunks, all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. And maybe you're like me, looking ahead to a few days in the NFL draft, rounds 1 on Thursday, rounds 2 and 3 on Friday, rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday. You're trying to figure out where you can put money on Marvin Harrison Jr. in the upcoming NFL season. What we looked to on the FanDuel Sportsbook app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. And Marvin Harrison Jr. currently has the second best odds to win the AP NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in the 2025 season, at plus 600. Ahead of him is Caleb Williams, and then 325, Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, and Jaden Daniels. Put your money on Marv. He did great things at Ohio State, and I believe he will do great things in the National Football League. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/locked-on and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. This episode is brought to you by Billiards Plus. Billiards Plus has the best selection of pool tables, game tables, shuffleboard tables, and more. And the best service in Central Ohio. And guys, check this out. Billiards Plus carries grills that have up to 30-year warranties. Everything you need for in-home and backyard entertainment is at Billiards Plus. And the grills, whether you like charcoal or gas or wood-fired, Billiards Plus has a perfect setup for all grillers. They are family-owned and operated. When you talk to the staff at Billiards Plus, you know you're talking to an expert who won't steer you wrong. No matter the season, Billiards Plus has you covered for all your indoor and outdoor entertainment needs. Kenny, Sarah, and the whole staff will always go above and beyond to give you the best customer service in the industry. Billiards Plus, visit their showroom on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin. Thank you for making Locked On Buckeyes your first listen or first watch of every single day. College football is a great sport. It's my favorite sport. As far as when you go to levels, high school, college, professional, high school football, basketball, college football, basketball, NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball. I think at the top of it is college football, is Ohio State Buckeye football. And then I love basketball. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am a Hoosier at heart. Your boy loves some basketball. But college football just has me, man, in a way that the NBA or college basketball, even high school basketball does not. High school basketball is close. It is a close second. But it don't come close to the Ohio State Buckeyes. And so I think about this sport and some things that I think would be great additions and things that it shouldn't be hard to make happen. Seriously, it shouldn't be that hard. No, it's not NIL and trying to get a salary cap. No, I am not that guy. I don't want to really care. That's a whole animal, a different way, and I don't think it's going to happen at all. But I do think there can be some uniformity in scheduling. And I don't care if it is the conference that still run the scheduling. You got to figure this thing out. Do I think, I know it's not fair, but do I think it should be altered that the ACC and the SEC always play an FCS school every year? It's something that the conferences and the schools have, I don't know if they have all agreed upon. It's just what they do. No. Do I think it's cool that some conferences play 8 conference games and some play 9? Absolutely not. I mean, seriously, do I truly think that the SEC would have the run that they're currently on if they played 9 conference games as long as the Big Ten did? No. Now, I don't think the Big Ten has the teams that are of the caliber in totality as the SEC. However, I do think, though, you might not see as many SEC teams in the playoff and winning national championships if they play 9 conference games. I think it's just regular math and the caliber of teams that are in the SEC versus who the conference teams schedule in their non-conference games. Now, I mean, you'll get South Carolina and Clemson. You will get that sometimes in the you might get that matchup. Oh, not Clemson, South Carolina. I was thinking Clemson. Wow, Gamecocks, go somewhere. I don't know why they're in my mind right now. It's very, very puzzling. I was thinking though, Clemson and Georgia, ACC, SEC, former big-time heavyweight rivals. Now they've played a little bit more lately. You will get that now with Notre Dame and USC still not being in the same conference. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how much longer than Notre Dame's not going to be in a conference, but you will get Notre Dame playing a big heavyweight Big Ten schedule, but still in the non-con getting Notre Dame scheduled. A one time in USC and SoCal, another time in the northern portion of Indiana and Notre Dame, Indiana. It's very, very interesting how the scheduling has worked out, but I think that's an easy one that could be altered. Now, here's what I think. Here's how you do it. Not only can it be altered, the how is one that's going to take a whole lot more work. There's multiple angles to this. One, if you don't want to have a governing body that just runs the sport, that is not the NCAA running certain things in the sport, but then somebody else at the conferences and the playoff and committee and all of those things running the sport, how about you just have a governing body and the governing body be similar to the NFL, having uniformity in schedule? Now, what is it in the NFL that we see? If you're in your division, teams that are in the Cleveland Browns division of the AFC North, what do you have? You play everybody in your division twice. And then they try to make it to where if you finished third in your division, another team in a different division that finished third in their division, you're going to play them. But also there are times that you play every division once every 4 years, and it may be your rotation to play the NFC West. I'm not going to try to name all. I will try it right now. It's out of my head. The Seahawks. Oh, boy. The 49ers. Oh, boy. I shit. The Cardinals. Oh, what's the other one? I know the fourth one. The Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers. I can't think of the fourth team that's in the AFC. I can't think of it. It's odd. It's weird. NFL season, I could get it, but I can't right now. Laugh at me, clip it. It's cool. It's all right. But yeah, no, the NFL has the same model of scheduling every single year. Now, you're not playing the same teams. You may play the same team 3, 4, 5 years in a row, but it may not be because of the vision. It may just be because of the way the NFL schedule has worked out. But there is uniformity in the scheduling. Go to every level of sport. If you go from high school, if you go to college, go to the professional level, what is it? Almost every level of sport outside of college football, there's uniformity in the sport across the conferences now. When it comes to across the teams now, college basketball, some teams play different level of league games. But I mean, you may see one league play 18 league games, one team may play 20, one may play 16. Like that even can be altered and changed by the NCAA taking control of the scheduling as they do govern that sport. But for this, just make the change. Just do it. Figure it out. Now that you may get some pushback from people in the South, that's cool. That's all right. Let them push back. Uniformity in the sport, what's it going to do? Make things more even and make things better. Out of here on a Monday, y'all. I'm glad to be back here on Locked On Buckeyes. Got a few more days left this week. Got a lot of good stuff coming your way. You won't want to miss it. On Friday, putting a little plug in early. After the NFL draft, there will be a show coming, and it will be 2 shows on Friday. One will be dropping probably late Thursday evening into Friday morning. That will simply be a show recapping the first round of the NFL draft, where Marvin Harrison Jr. got drafted, and other things that are regarding the draft that day and looking ahead to what may happen, who may get picked on day 2 and rounds 2 and 3. But then also going to try to get our normal recruiting update with Brian Smith coming on that day as well. So how do you know when the stuff is coming and when does it hit you immediately? Subscribe to Locked On Buckeyes on the YouTube or the audio podcast app of your choosing. If you're on the YouTube, hit that bell so you are notified every time a new video goes live. And then also, if you're on the audio side, you can follow the show, but also turn notifications on Locked On Buckeyes so your phone alerts you when new audio podcasts go live as well. You can follow me on X at jstevens07. Send every single email to jstevens317@gmail.com. That's happening Locked On Buckeyes at the start of draft week. We'll see you next time.